Hi everyone, it's Graham again and welcome back to my channel. So today I am here with my January reading wrap up. I read 7 books in January and I DNF'd 1. So if I'd finished that one it would have been 8, which is more like the amount that I like to read in a month. I do aim for about 10 books, doesn't always work out that way, and on average, yeah. The book that I DNF'd, I didn't stop reading it because it wasn't good. It was just because it wasn't my cup of tea and it wasn't for me at that moment in time. I did try and read on. I broke one of my cardinal rules right there. If you're not really gelling with something, stop. I wanted to read it because it was for a book club, but yeah, ultimately I decided to DNF. But anyway, enough of my chatter and my boredom, and let's get into the books. So these are in no particular order. Well, they're in the order they were in when I took the thumbnail picture for the video. So yeah, they're not necessarily in reading order. So the one that is on the top of the pile here is Charlotte's Web by E.B. White. This was my final read of January. And this was chosen by my husband. He has created a TBR jar for me, and we did the first choice, the first choosing of a book from that on one of my Instagram lives, which I have linked my Instagram down below. Go and check those out because we are doing them every Sunday until I go back to work or whenever. So Charlotte's Web by E.B. White. This was the first time I've ever read this, and I absolutely adored it. It was so lovely, and I was warned that the ending was sad, bittersweet, and it was absolutely. So I did take my time with this one, and I read things in between, but really enjoyed this. A story about friendship and love and protecting those that you care for, and it was lovely, and I would also like to see the film that this is based on. I believe that it stars Debbie Reynolds, Henry Gibson, Paul Lind and Agnes Moorehead, who played Samantha's mother in Bewitched. So there you go, it's bound to be good. So the next book that I have here on this pile is The Death of Francis Bacon by Max Porter. I hauled this, I think, in a previous video. I'm sure I did. I must have done. And this is signed, still got the bookmark in there and it's falling out. This is signed by Max Porter, and I got this with a book, well, I'm going to say a book token, but it wasn't really. It was the price of tickets to see the launch of another book, and it was Ali Smith's Summer, but that's been cancelled obviously because of the situation. So I got in contact with the bookshop, Talking and Company, and I now have a copy of Summer without having seen Ali Smith talking about it. It is a signed edition and I'm so happy about it, but I also got this as well. This tells the story of, well, the death of Francis Bacon, the famous artist from the 20th century, and it's sort of like, it's really like a deep delve into the thoughts of a dying man through his art and through the work that he creates as an artist. And it was very sort of, it was on another level. I felt it was very dark. It was very it was almost quite fevered in a way. It kind of, I feel that it really encapsulated that sort of the last days, hours, minutes of someone's life, and I thought it was just brilliant. And it took me a couple of sittings to get through this, and I loved it. I read quite a lot of it to my husband, and he didn't really get it. He found it a bit too strange for his liking. But I enjoyed it. There were some parts that were very strange, but for the most part it was very good, and it's one that I probably would reread again, and it's one that I feel that could be reread again because there's so much to be taken from it in different times, I think. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? But yeah, that's that one. So the next one that I've got on this pile is the one that I DNF'd. And I'm sad that I DNF'd it, but I'm not, if that makes sense. It was a 600 and something page chunker. and it was January's choice for Sykes and Savage Book Club, and it's Grownups by Marian. I got about 150 or 60-ish pages into this, and it was about 40 pages more than I should have read. It just wasn't for me. It wasn't for me at all. And I will say, if you're hearing farty noises, I'm sitting on the end of the footboard of the bed, and you can hear it. So I'm not passing gas, just so that you know. I'm very polite. I'm not. Anyway, back to the books. So yeah, I didn't not like this. It was just that I wasn't gelling with it. It wasn't bad. It was actually quite well written, and there were some laugh out loud funny moments, but it just wasn't for me in that moment at that time. It tells the story of a family drama, and it's a family that live in Ireland, and it's a really large family, and it tells the stories of the different members of that family at different times when they gather together. And yeah, maybe in the future, who knows, I might get back to this, but at the time being, it's not really for me. The next one that I'm going to show you, I absolutely did adore. I read this over, I think it was a couple of days, possibly. I really, really loved this. This was so up my street. It's The Last Thing to Burn by Will Dean. Oh, this was just incredible. A woman is being kept hostage in a farmhouse in the Fens down in England, and she has been there for 7 years. The man that she is with has clearly paid for this woman, so it's like human trafficking and all that kind of stuff. And he sexually abuses her. He has also crippled her. He has broken her ankle. I believe it's called hobbling, and her ankle has never truly healed, so she's always in agony with this. And he gives her horse tranquilizers, not for human consumption, and then she falls pregnant, and it's just so twisty. It's just brilliant, and the ending is just so worth it's the payoff. It's just brilliant. Because we find out that the sister of the woman who has been kidnapped has also been kidnapped. That's a spoiler. If you haven't read this, it's not too much of a spoiler, but please do read it. It is absolutely brilliant, so twisty, and I loved it. And I can't wait to see what's coming next with this author. Brilliant, great stuff. So the next 3 books that I read are in the same series. They are The Little People, Big Dreams. And I read David Bowie, I read Dolly Parton, and I read Elton John. And you can probably see that one sparkles. It's just incredible. So the David Bowie one obviously tells the story of rock god David Bowie and his rise to fame and the different characters that he played through his music. And it's just lovely. The artwork in here is just brilliant. For instance, I didn't know that David Bowie's eyes were 2 different, well, I knew that they were 2 different colours, but I didn't know that it was because he had been punched in the face by his friend through a disagreement, and it was something to do with a permanently dilated pupil in his eye. I didn't know that. And I was a fan of David Bowie. I just thought he had strange eyes. So yeah, that's the David Bowie one. The Dolly Parton one obviously tells the story of country singer Dolly Parton, and the artwork, the end papers in this are beautiful. Butterflies are the Dolly Parton's logo, and indeed on every page of this there is a butterfly hidden somewhere. That's clearly her winning a Grammy Award. And this talked about as well how she is very passionate about children and reading, and she gives away books to children. And I think it's just amazing. And there is the butterfly on that page, which is on the cover of her book. And then the final one that I read was obviously the Elton John one, Another Rock God Extraordinaire. This book is on an acid trip. The colours in this, the end papers are like glasses, because obviously Elton John wears very strange glasses. And just, I loved the artwork in this. So this is a picture of Elton John with his two sons, and all the photos on the walls are people that he has known and been friends with throughout his career and his life. And the next picture, I just love this. This is the picture of Elton with his younger self playing the piano. And doesn't that just look like some sort of psychedelic 1960s type thing? I adored it. It was just brilliant. So yeah, that was those. And I'm getting quite a collection of the Little People Big Dreams because they're just beautiful. They're gorgeously put together. They're really educational, and I don't care. I'm 34 years old. I'm happy to be a man-child to read picture books like that because they are just a thing of absolute beauty. And these ones were by Maria Isabel Sánchez Vegara. The Elton John one was illustrated by Sophie Beer. The Dolly Parton one was illustrated by Daria Solak. And the David Bowie one was Anna Albero. So yeah, they're just things of beauty. And then the last one in this wrap-up is a very sort of strange kind of picture book by a really incredible author. And I've read all of her other picture books that she has as well. And I've also read The Time Traveller's Wife by her. So it's Audrey Niffenegger. This is called The Adventuress, and it tells the story of a girl who, her father was an alchemist and he created her through alchemy. And she escapes and she becomes a moth, and she ends up in the library of Napoleon Bonaparte. She eats all his books because moths eat paper. And then she becomes human again, and she marries Napoleon Bonaparte. They have a child who is a cat. It's very strange, but it's very beautiful. And the artwork as well. There's not a lot of this that I can show you because the lady doesn't wear a top. She doesn't wear like a blouse or a shirt or anything. So yeah, she's top half naked. So I have to be very careful about what I show you. So there's her waving Napoleon Bonaparte off to war. And I can't show you that because she's got her top off. And there's her marrying her first husband, who was a very rich, sort of strange kind of man who lived in a castle, who she burnt alive. So yeah, that was The Adventuress by Audrey Niffenegger. And that is my reading wrap-up for January 2021. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope I haven't gone on too much. If you see any books that you like, I will have them sort of named down below, and you can go search online for them. What are you reading at the moment? What have you read in the last month? Comment down below and we'll have a chat about it. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, everyone. Whatever you're doing, I hope you have so much fun doing it. Whatever you're reading, I hope you love it. Stay fabulous, be amazing, be yourself, stay safe, and I'll see you again soon for another video. Bye-bye.